Welcome back to the course. We are now in lesson 2. I believe that lesson 1 helps you to understand what this course is all about and why it is important. In this lesson 2, we are going to look at the structure of an academic project. As you can see, the academic project is structured into 3. This may not be the official, generally accepted structure, but I am just using this to explain this course. So we have divided it into 3. That is the preliminary pages, the chapters, that is basically from chapter 1 to chapter 5. Then the closing pages. We'll be taking them one after another. Now we'll be beginning with preliminary pages. What do we mean by preliminary pages? When you come to preliminary pages, the very first thing you see in every academic project is the cover page. So this cover page can be thick cover or soft binding depending on your level and the institution preference. Before you even start to write a project, what you will need to do is to get a project written in your own institution. I remember when I was doing my postgraduate program, my supervisor then insisted that I must read like 15 project research written by others. By doing so, I will have to get myself familiarized with the format and how project is written. So what you need to do is to get a project, either 2 or 3 from your school and particularly from your department, so that you will see how they normally design their cover page. The cover page and the title page basically the same thing. The write-up are the same, except that the title page will have the word title at the top, but at the cover page you won't have such a thing. And when you are writing your cover page, the title of your project is usually not more than 22 characters. This may differ from school to school, but this is generally accepted so that it will not be too big and cover a lot of place in your cover page, or even too scanty. Okay, there are other things, you will get to learn them as we proceed. Then after project cover page and title, there are tips you can use to select your project title, that is your project topic. We have some tips here. Number 1 is to identify your interest. So when you are writing a project, you don't just choose any projects that you see online or wherever. So you choose based on your interest. This will have some benefits if you must continue in academic line. Number 2 is to review current literature. You check what others have written concerning that topic. Number 3 is to consider relevance and significance. So the project you are writing must not be an outdated project. It must be something relevant and significant. In number 4, you have to narrow it down to something you can be able to manage. Number 5, you have to assess the feasibility, whether it is even possible for you to complete that particular project. In number 6, we will seek guidance from experts. So you don't just rely on your own knowledge, you work with your supervisor and with other lecturers. You can also work with students who may have 1 or 2 things to tell you. Number 7 is to check for originality. So you don't just start doing something that has been done before. You remember that popular saying, don't reinvent the wheel. If somebody have done something, you don't need to do it again. Number 8 is also to consider the ethical and practical implication. So it's not because you have interest about your president or your governor. You started researching the private life of a family and something like that. So you consider the ethical and the implication of what you are about to do. Number 9 is to align with your institutional priorities. So each institution have something that they hold of higher interest. Your project should also go in the same alignment. There are so many other tips that will also help you, and that is why this course is AI assisted. You will get to see how we will be using AI to get information and brainstorm with the artificial intelligence chatbots. Now let us start to use AI to enhance our project writing. As we said before, this is not a theoretical course but a practical oriented course. We are going to start by asking AI to give us suggestions for project topics. The very first one we are going to use is ChatGPT, the popular ChatGPT. I know you must have used it to do one thing or another. In case you haven't used it, all you need to do is to come to this place and type chatgpt.com. It will ask you to sign up. Once you sign up, you will be presented to this environment. ChatGPT has also improved a lot. Like now, we now have something like Explore GPTs. If you click here, you will see different GPTs you can use. These are different technologies that you can use, from writing, productivity, and all of that. But we are not going to use those GPTs. We are going to use our normal ChatGPT 3.5. If you want to pay for 4.0, you can upgrade here. Now, in order to begin, I'll ask ChatGPT to generate academic research projects topic suggestions in the business administration department. After entering my prompt, I will click on this button so that it will start to generate these project topics for me. So as you can see, ChatGPT have started generating these project topics for me. But a closer look at these shows that these topics looks like seminar topics and not like a project topic. Okay, I don't mean you can use it to do your project, but you know, project topics usually have two variables. Let us add a follow-up question so that ChatGPT will correct it. So I will say, make it look like a research topic. Then I'll click next. So we now have more suggestions that are more like a research topic, at least the kind we have in our country. Okay. Remember, you can also get your project topics online, but the problem with that is if your supervisor changes that, you may be thrown out of balance. But with ChatGPT, you can always find your way, and that is why we are doing this course. Now, let us go back and finish off the lesson. Next page is approval or certification page. So many institutions will have both approval page and certification page. While some institutions will just have only approval page, and some other institutions will have just certification page. Remember, I said you get a project written in your department to know what is obtainable there. What do you do in approval or certification page? You just make a statement showing that you are certified to carry out this particular research. Again, is that the authorities involved will sign for you. People like your HOD, your supervisor, maybe the dean of the faculty, and so on. Then we'll get to the next page, which is dedication page. In dedication page, usually you dedicate to one person. So you look for whether your father, your mother, or even to God, you normally dedicate to one person. So in your dedication, you make it short and simple. You state the significance. When you say you are dedicating to your father or to whoever, you state why you are doing that, the significance of that person in your project research work or in your academic pursuits. Also remember to use personal tone. Then we'll have acknowledgement page. Now, when you are doing your acknowledgements, you highlight their contribution, others' contribution towards your education or the success of that project research work. So after highlighting their contribution, you also remember to organize them categorically, not scattering their names. Like after acknowledging your HOD, you go and acknowledge your father for paying your school fees. Then you come back and remember your supervisor. No, if you are facing your lecturer, you write everything about them. You acknowledge all of them. Then when it comes to your parents, you write the people you want to acknowledge. For your friends and other people, you do it in an organized, orderly manner. Again, is that you should remember to use their correct title. You see some students writing their lecturer who is a professor or academic doctor, they will just go and put Mr. before their name. This may put you into problem. So use their correct titles. Okay, assuming you want to write your acknowledgement and you don't know where to start. Remember, I said you should have someone's project at hand so that it will guide you as you write your own. Maybe you don't like the format or the pattern of that person's own, you just want something new. Yeah, AI can help you. So let us enter this prompt for our acknowledgement. I said, generate an idea for project writing for the acknowledgement page. I would like to recognize the contributions of my lecturers, parents, and friends. Then I'll click next. So ChatGPT will now do what? Write acknowledgement page for us. But remember, ChatGPT or AI doesn't know the name of your lecturer. Do you see it here? And their contribution. So you don't just go to AI, generate content, and put it in your project work. You still have to do what? Do your due diligence. You have to take your time, rework them. The AI is just there for idea. I hope you understand. The next page is the abstract page. This is where it gets tougher, but this shouldn't be tough. Remember, we'll be using AI that will assist us. I will show you how to do this. Okay? Now, when you are writing your abstract page, the very first thing that should be in your mind is that you will have to state what you did and how you did it. That is your project, what you did in your project, and explain how you did it. That's just that. And when you are doing that, you use simple and straightforward language. Avoid vague statements and focus on specific details. Accurately reflect the content of your research. Keep it brief, typically 150 words to 250 words, so that it will not be too big. Remember that your acknowledgements will only have just one paragraph, and you use one line spacing, not double line spacing. Okay? This time around, we are going to use AI to generate our abstract. As you know, abstract is always difficult for many students, especially undergraduate students. Now, let us ask ChatGPT to generate an abstract for us. So I'll enter this prompt. So what I did here is to give it a particular project topic. Let's read. I did a research project on gender differences in senior secondary school certificate examination chemistry in Ikorodu local government area of Lagos State. I use descriptive statistics for my study. Generate an abstract for me. So after writing this, I will now click on enter so that ChatGPT will generate the abstract for me. So we'll give it a time for it to work around it. As you can see, the AI has started generating an abstract for us. If you notice, you will see that ChatGPT has included second paragraph for us. In our theoretical part, we said you don't use two paragraphs, you use just one. Okay? So you are going to ignore all these paragraphs. Now you have to read through to see if what the AI generated is correct. Then you make your own input, don't just copy. The AI doesn't exactly know what you did. So this thing is just to generate idea. Then with this idea, you will be able to do your work by yourself. Okay? Okay, let us go back to conclude this particular lesson. And the next page is content pages. Yeah, the reason why I group them together as content pages is we have the very first one, which is table of contents, all your projects, and the page number where they fell in, you have to write them out in your table of contents. Again, if you have some tables, tables that you use within your project, you are going to make a list of all of them. The same thing, you do the same thing for list of figures. Graphic figures that you use in your project work, you make a list of all of them. This is the end of this particular lesson. I hope it was helpful. Please join me as we continue in this journey. At the end of this course, you won't have to pay anybody to write your project again. See you in the next lesson.